Hey everybody, welcome to the Next Generation podcast. So, earlier today, well, now it's officially 12 o'clock where I am, so I guess you can say yesterday. So, yesterday, earlier in the day, I use Google Chrome as a browser on my phone, and I usually get, based off of my Google searches or what's popular, trending, I usually get notifications on the home page on Google of news updates, and I saw something from Radar Online about Elton John had some things to say about Michael Jackson. So I read the article and I was going to talk about it, but I figured maybe wait until the book actually comes out and then have something to say about it. But I decided, now it's late and I can't sleep. And I heard another YouTuber talking about it. And I figured I do have some opinions on it. Maybe I can talk about how I feel before the book comes out. And then afterwards, because I'm not buying that crap. But maybe afterwards, if somebody does buy it just to read, the Michael section, or maybe, after the book has officially come out and more details about that section comes out, then I can do kind of an update on what exactly is that chapter or that section is about. So I'm just going to talk about what I read so far pertaining to that section or chapter and how I feel about it. I'm going to start by saying I don't know too much about Elton John. I really don't. I'm just going to be honest. I really don't understand what the animosity is about. I feel like when it comes to musicians, celebrities, I feel like once they feel kind of left out or they get to the point where they're not at their peak, I feel like they do anything for attention. And I'm not even saying about money, because pretty sure he has his money. But attention is everything, because you need to keep the revenue coming. You need to keep yourself relevant. I'm not calling anybody irrelevant. Like I said, I don't even know too much about the man. But I can for sure say that he's not as relevant as he once was. And I was reading the article, and Radar Online is very gossipy, very trashy. That's the reason why I didn't even want to speak on it in the first place. But I saw that there were a few more places that were talking about this. Man, honestly, guys, I know you can hear my voice. I don't know if it's because I'm tired, actually physically tired, or if it's mentally tired of this bullshit. But it's come on. Come on. This is so just money grab. This is so just attention seeking. And I never knew, like I said, I don't really know too much about Elton John, but how old are you? You're this old and you're still so messy? This is garbage. I'm looking at Radar Online, and of course, like I said, very gossipy. And can we just talk about this real quick? Why is it that every time there's some Michael Jackson article, especially if it's putting him in a negative light, they pick the most ugliest pictures? They put the most disturbing, the most they catch him off guard, or I don't know. It's just like they pick the most not flattering pictures. And on top of that, they pick pictures that are like, they always pick the court. I don't know if you guys realize it, but they always pick the 2003, the 2005 trial pictures. They always pick that. And I'm not saying that's where this picture come from, because I'm not that good with the with the dates when it comes to Michael's pictures. I mean, unless it's something super iconic, like you could tell Thriller era, you could tell each era, but I can't tell you exactly what year this is. But I don't like this picture. They got the flash in his eyes, and it's just, come on, bro. Why would you do that? We know why you did that, but like, come on. It's come on. Anyway, so this is my thing. This book by Elton John is supposed to be a memoir. Shoot, I lost it. Let me find it. So this book is supposed to be a memoir. I was just looking at the actual description of this crap. Where's this garbage? Where's the description? Okay. I'm looking at this on Google Books, books.google.com. So it says, in his first and only official autobiography, music icon Elton John reveals the truth about his extraordinary life, from his roller coaster lifestyle as shown as the film Rocket Man, in the film Rocket Man, to becoming a living legend. So, if this book is about your crazy life and how you, I guess, became a legend, what does Michael Jackson's personal business have to do with you? Is what I'm not understanding. I'm not saying that you can't mention in your book, even though I really don't understand why this is so important, but you can mention, your meeting of other people, and in autobiographies, when you mention the meeting of other people, it's obviously to show the impact and the influence that meeting, or you knowing that person or spending time with that person, how that has influenced you or how that has impacted your life. I don't know what this point of, like, that part of you meeting Michael, what does that have to do with anything? That's what I'm saying. This is all just for attention. The fact that is highlighted before the book even comes out is beyond me. It's like the narrative is still being pushed. It's saying here, Elton John remembers Michael as a disturbing person plagued with mental illness during the final years of his life. In the new memoir titled Me, John opens up about the King of Pop's deteriorated state for his tragic death. So John wrote that he met Michael when he was a teen, but it wasn't until Jackson's later years that John questioned what prescription drugs was he being pumped full of. He was genuinely mentally ill, a disturbing person to be around. The 72-year-old performer concluded that Jackson appeared to have totally lost his marbles in the 2000s. What? This is what I'm talking about. This is supposed to be about you. So, what do you need to talk about Michael for? I just hate this crap because, God, the poor guy looked awful, really frail and ill. Then starts to talk about Michael's makeup, basically saying that it didn't look good, and then that his nose covered with a sticking plaster. So this is why this, I guess, I don't even know if it's a chapter, but him talking about this, why this is detrimental again to Michael's case because he's adding more fuel to the fire. He's basically, adding on to the narrative, oh, this guy looks weird, so he has to have done it, which makes zero sense. But then it's like, then you add the part of he couldn't cope with being around adults, so he went to go. Because it says here, I'd even talk about that. Yeah, so it says the alarming lunch encounter grew worse when John recalled Jackson disappearing from the table without a word. He was later found inside of a cottage of John's housekeeper, quietly playing games with her 11-year-old son. For whatever reason, he couldn't seem to cope with adult company at all. It's like, oh my God. It's just, what is the purpose for this chapter segment? What is the purpose? What exactly are you trying to say? What exactly is the point? What does this have to do with your life? How has this impacted you? It doesn't. I just feel like it's one of those trashy tell-all books. It's probably going to have a little, it's going to have obviously his life in it, but from what I'm seeing, he's being very just trashy. I heard there were some things about, let's see, Elton John me book. News. I heard, was it Tina Turner? Crap. Where is it? But it's just, oh God. Yes, Tina Turner treated me like shit and called me fat. I see that as a title of an article. Is this going to be in the book? Let me see. Yeah, that's what I read. Yep. So he's going to... It's just... Oh, God. I just find it kind of just ironic that two black entertainers are highlighted in a negative light when it comes to promotion of his book. I hate to make it about race, but living in this world and me as a black woman is like, I can't help but think about race every day because that's the world that I live in. It's being shaped by the color of my skin. So it's like, to see this crap is like, yo, bro. Like, honestly, Elton John needs to have a seat. He needs to go enjoy his golden years. Have a seat, bro. Nobody asked for this book. You could have just talked about yourself. Instead, you wanted to bash Michael, talk about his looks, which is super elementary. Talk about that he was mentally ill. We all know that he was dealing with some issues. I'm not going to go as far to say as mentally ill in a way that it's like he couldn't care for himself or things like that. But it's like, we all know that he has some problems stemming from his childhood up until the way that people treated him, up until his death. So it's like, we know this. We know that Michael needed help. He needed, first of all, he needed to be left alone by the media. That was one. Two, he needed some emotional help. Because we know what happened in his childhood affected him greatly. And yeah, we got the greatest musician out of it, but also it created a broken man, and these allegations and how the media treated him just further broke him. And you think this trashy ass book is like, like, what the hell is this? What more can we say about Michael? Like, the jokes about his nose, his makeup, his looks, like, come on, like, that shit is dead, bro. I'm sorry, the New York is coming out of me right now, but all of that is done. It's finished. This man has died. Can we please just stop with the crap, please. Let's stop with this. I'm getting so annoyed because it's like, if it's not one thing, it's another. If we're not talking about him being a child molester, we're talking about how he looked. Why does that matter anymore? Can we talk about what he actually left behind? That's great music, fashion, dance, entrepreneurship, humanitarian efforts is the most important. He left behind all of that. He left behind a legacy as immense as that. And we're talking about his makeup? Elton John, how have you shaped the world? How have you made the world a better place? At 72 years old, what can you say that you've done to make the world a better place? I'm not saying that you haven't, but why aren't you talking about that? Why aren't you trying to continue that? Because if Michael was still alive, he would still be trying to shape this world and make it a better place. Not writing these trashy ass, salacious, disgusting, freaking elementary jokes and just all right nasty things about somebody. Notice how Michael never was nasty about anybody. Because guess what? When you first of all, when you're doing great things and you're way too busy, you ain't got time to do that. Obviously, Elton John has nothing going on for him to be talking about people in this kind of way. When I'm making money and when I'm too busy worrying about my next steps and how I'm going to be greater, I don't have time to be talking about nobody else. And that goes for everybody, rich or not. When you're too busy doing you and minding your business, you don't have time to be worrying about nobody else. Y'all, this video went on too long. I'm going to go try to catch some Z's. So let me know what y'all think about it. Until next time, see you later.